You come out snarling, not crying, not screaming, snarling. 3 heads, 1 monstrous body, and no idea which voice to listen to first. Congratulations, you are born a beast. Not just any beast, the beast, Hell's Bouncer, mythology's most misunderstood mutt. Cerberus. Your first breath reeks of sulfur, your crib? A cave lit with eternal fire, your lullaby? The screams of the damned echoing off obsidian walls, no mobile hanging above your head, just the occasional lost soul dangling from a chain. You are not cute, not cuddly, not destined for TikTok fame. You are, by design, terrifying, a nightmare factory with paws, a triple-headed warning sign that screams, "Abandon all hope. Ye who enter here." Each head has a mind of its own. One wants to sleep, one wants to eat, one wants to chew on the thigh bone of a Roman hero. No one agrees, ever. You are your own worst argument. Try house training that. You grow fast, too fast. One day you're chasing shadows. The next you're chomping down on Heracles' sandal like it's a squeaky toy. You're not allowed outside. Outside is Olympus territory. You're Hell's house pet, but not in a loving way. More in the "you're chained here for eternity" way. Your owner? Hades, god of the dead, CEO of eternal despair. Not exactly a warm paternal figure. He feeds you table scraps. And by table scraps, we mean melted gold and existential dread. He doesn't do belly rubs, he does commands. You're less a companion and more a cautionary tale. You guard the gates. That's your job. That's your only job. You don't fetch, you don't play, you don't even nap. Because if one head dozes off, the other 2 get bored and start biting. And no one wins in a 3-way head fight. Your social life? Dead. Literally. The only visitors are souls, and they don't talk. Not unless you count wailing. You're lonely, but you're not allowed to be lonely because beasts don't have feelings. Or so they say, but you remember that one time. Or maybe all 3 of you remember different versions of it. A mortal girl lost her way and ended up at your feet. She didn't scream. She didn't run. She patted you on the nose. You didn't eat her. For a second, you felt something like affection. Then Hades zapped her into dust. You never mention it again. Sometimes you try to talk to the souls, whisper through the cracks, but they're gone before the thought forms. Others try to trick you, dressing as gods, offering bribes. One time a man tried to rap battle you into submission. You bit off the chorus. You get blamed for every escape attempt, every misfiled soul. Even if you're just sleeping, someone's yelling. You get lectures from demons who don't even have bones. It's like being middle management, but with more fire. You spend years, centuries, perfecting your growl, not just for intimidation, for expression. Growl 101 is your basic number. Growl 209, that's for heartbreak. Growl 423B, that's reserved for existential dread. No one notices, no one cares. You growl into the void. Centuries pass. The world forgets you. People stop believing. Your name becomes trivia. Your form, a Halloween costume. You're still here, guarding the gates, but now, no one even knocks. Occasionally, a demon drops by to flex. Sometimes Orpheus tries a mixtape, but mostly it's just silence. You chase ghosts for entertainment. You bury bones no one left. You start playing fetch with yourself. 3 heads, 6 eyes, and a mountain of boredom. Even your nightmares are reruns now. You start naming the souls. Dave, Linda, third Dave. You hum to yourself in 3-part harmony. You compose symphonies of growls and echoes. You create elaborate games only you understand. One day you decide the rocks are invading and launch a week-long siege on a boulder. You lose. You draw in the ash with your claws. Tic-tac-toe, spiral mazes. A map of the underworld redrawn in sadness. Nothing changes. The gates are always the same. The screams are always the same. You are always the same. You eavesdrop on the Furies. Try to follow gossip from Tartarus. You learn everything about everyone except yourself. No mirrors down here. You don't even know what you look like beyond legend. You imagine you're hideous. Or worse. Ordinary. You start making up stories. For the souls, for yourself. One's a knight, one's a baker, one's a god who chose to fall. You tell yourself you're a poet trapped in fur, a philosopher of flame, a forgotten prince of the abyss. You almost believe it. You begin to craft epic tales in your head. Myths of a Cerberus that broke free, that stormed Olympus, that climbed out of hell and became a constellation. You picture yourself in the stars, finally unchained, a trio of heads looking down on the world. You write this myth in the dust. You read it to no one. Still, you read, and then Heracles comes. He wrestles you, not because he hates you, because it's a task. His 12th. You're a checkbox, a stepping stone. You fight like hell. Pun fully intended. But he still drags you out into the sunlight. Sunlight burns. You see trees. You see sky. You hate it. You love it. It's overwhelming. For once all three heads agree, this is not your place. Grass underfoot feels like lies. Birds sound like mockery. You hear laughter for the first time. Children playing. Mortals being alive. You don't understand it, but you crave it. The warmth, the motion, the absurdity of soft things. They return you, eventually, but something cracks. You've seen what's beyond. And now the gates feel smaller, your chain tighter, the silence louder. No one tells you how long eternity really is. You thought you were born for this. But what is this? A job with no end, no change, no meaning beyond fear. Sometimes you dream of being a dog, a real one, playing fetch, chasing your tail, not metaphorically, sleeping in the sun without combusting, getting a treat for doing a trick instead of a punishment for doing your job. You dream of being adopted, a child tugging your leash, calling you fluffy, a sweater for each head in winter, 3 tennis balls at once, people laughing, not screaming, love that doesn't end in ash. Sometimes you imagine reincarnation. What if you came back as a mutt in a backyard? What if you barked at squirrels instead of souls? What if someone scratched behind all your ears just because? Sometimes you imagine being forgotten entirely. Dust, legend, a thing no one believes in anymore. Oblivion sounds like freedom. You try creating a ritual, a moment. Every 1,000 years, you walk the perimeter backwards. You sing an old hymn in reverse. You howl until something inside you shakes loose, but nothing ever changes. You start talking to yourself, not out loud. That's just barking. No, you philosophize. You imagine what it would be like to be mortal, to feel fear that ends, to have a name, not a title. You envy the souls you used to guard against. At least they're going somewhere. You craft a language of paw prints. Try to write poems in soot. They vanish the moment they're done. But for a breath, they are yours. And that feels close to real. Eventually, you stop dreaming. Your head stops talking. The fire dims in your belly. You become a statue, a myth too still to matter, a warning without an audience. But you wait. You always wait. Because waiting is the only thing you were ever really good at. You think about rebelling, about slipping the chain, but Hades always knows. One head twitches and shadows grab your tail. You're not his pet. You're his prisoner. Even your heads grow quiet. The once constant arguments fade into resignation. You stare at the souls passing by. None of them see you anymore. You're furniture now. Background noise in a story they've stopped telling. You remember when you were feared, when heroes spoke your name with reverence. Now you're a trivia question no one gets right. 3-headed dog from hell, like someone always says, fluffy. You long for change. Even pain would be something new, but eternity isn't built for novelty. It's built for permanence. You are eternal security. No purpose beyond the post. No rest. No reward. You are a monument to fear, forgotten by the fearful. A relic with no religion. A beast with no battle left. Sometimes when Hades is away, you whisper into the gate, anyone out there? Still believe in monsters? Still need guarding from the dark? Silence answers, and you howl just once, just for you. No one escapes death. But you? You never lived. And that is why it sucks to be born as Cerberus.